coach has made an unexpected return after retiring at the end of last season.
Plus, the Filipino Cultural Exchange Club performed on Thursday to celebrate Filipino-American History Month.
And Cal Poly Wine and Viticulture students were greeted with a great surprise before fall quarter began.
Broadcasting from Swanson Studios, you're watching Mustang News.
Hello and welcome to Mustang News TV. I'm Abigail Obranovich.
And I'm Carter Herrera. Now let's get into today's top stories. As last season wrapped up for Cal Poly's men's soccer, it was announced that their head coach would retire. Reporter Maddie Harrell tells us why that same coach has made an unexpected return.
If you were at the infamous rivalry soccer game between UCSB and Cal Poly, you may have noticed a familiar face leading the Mustangs. After announcing his retirement at the end of last season, Steve Sampson pulled a play from NFL legend Tom Brady and returned as the head coach of the men's soccer team.
Don Oberhelman calls me and says, look, I'm down to my last two candidates. I'm going to hire one of them unless you can come up with any kind of a scenario that would keep you around. And I said, are you serious? And he says, absolutely serious.
Sampson was originally planning on ending his 45-year-long coaching career, citing his health as the #1 reason. The 65-year-old needed to have multiple procedures done that would keep him away from the game.
I said, look, if you'll give me 4 months, to get through the surgeries and to recover, then okay, then I'll continue on. He said, done deal.
Going from finding out his coach was leaving to hearing of his return was a roller coaster of emotions for sophomore forward Noah Bettiger.
At first it was kind of weird because you're starting mentally getting prepared for a new coach and a new environment. But I think once it actually got settled in, then it was familiar and we definitely worked well with it.
And his teammate, sophomore striker Ashton Alonji, felt the same way.
I was very surprised because we were all, under the impression he was going to leave. So there's a lot of positives because he knows the program, knows the players. So we didn't really have to make new impressions on a new coach.
With a roster made up of mostly freshmen and sophomores, Sampson is excited to see what the future holds for Cal Poly men's soccer.
And I know that we're very young this year and are going through some growing pains, but I really truly believe that this group of young men are going to do something special during their tenure here.
For Mustang News, I'm Maddie Harrell.
Cal Poly's men's soccer will be playing in Spanos Stadium tomorrow night against Sacramento State at 7.
The Filipino Cultural Exchange Club honored American History Month on Thursday, which is recognized throughout October by holding a traditional dance showcase. Reporter Angelina Salgado shows us the importance of this celebration.
On Thursday, the performers of the Filipino Cultural Exchange Club lit up the stage in the UU as they celebrated the month of October, Filipino-American History Month. The club showcased songs and traditional folk dances to display their heritage to the Cal Poly community.
We'd want to perform and show pride for Filipino-American culture and just culture on campus in general. So by putting on this performance a week before Culture Fest, we thought we could get exposure through that.
The club, consisting of 3 non-audition performing groups, performed traditional and cultural songs and dances. The dance group Kaishayan presented a traditional cultural dance of the Philippines, and the choir Athing Haming performed a piece by an upcoming Filipino singer.
Zach Tapulo is currently an Filipino-American who is gaining a lot of traction within the country and overall. So it's really nice to see that Filipinos are becoming a big name out there, not just in the Philippines, but also in America. And it shows that our culture is everywhere and that we are really proud of it and proud of him. So we just chose another American Filipino who represents us.
As the club will not be participating in Culture Fest this year, the planning for this showcase began before the year started. In addition to this performance, the Filipino Cultural Exchange Club will be participating in Friendship Games, a Filipino and Filipino-American unity rally where organizations across the West Coast come together.
Practices range from 2 hours for twice a week, and then some people in both performing groups are in both performances, so they commit so much more time. And
The Filipino Cultural Club's goal by putting on performances is to emphasize their hardships of being a Filipino in the United States and to create a community where all individuals feel welcomed. Their motto, Home Away from Home, is instilled within the club community and means a lot to their members.
The reason why I joined PCE was to find a community here. PCE's slogan is Home Away from Home, and ever since I joined, I really do believe in that motto that it is my home away from home.
Angelina Salgado for Mustang News.
Information regarding the Filipinos Club upcoming events, you can go to their website at www.pcecpslow.com.
And coming up, Cal Poly's new Wine and Viticulture Center presents new ways for their students to learn by doing.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back. We hope you are having a great day or a great start to your Tuesday. Now let's hear from Avery Elowit, who has our weather forecast for this week.
I'm Avery Elowit with this week's weather forecast. Today in San Luis Obispo, we're looking at partly cloudy skies with a high of 79 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 60 degrees as we approach the evening. The north wind may pick up to a gentle breeze at 10 miles per hour. As for local beaches, we're looking at a slight overcast all around, starting at north in Cayucos with a high of 73 degrees and cooling down to a low of 60. Next, Morro Bay has a high of 71 degrees and a low of 60. Avila Beach follows this trend, reaching a high of 72 and a low of 61. Following south, Pismo Beach drops a couple of degrees lower with a high of 70 degrees and a low of 58. And we can expect much of the same with Oceano, with a high of 70 degrees and a low of 57. As for the rest of this week's forecast in San Luis Obispo, better get out your sunglasses for tomorrow, with a high of 92 degrees, lowering to a neutral 60 degrees in the evening. But don't worry, you can bust out your sweatshirts for sweater weather as temperatures gradually lower for the rest of the week. On Thursday, the high will start at 81 degrees and decrease to 55 later in the day. Temperatures are going to get down on Friday with a high of 72 degrees and a low of 51 degrees. The weekend will start off cool with a high of 64 degrees and a low of 48 degrees on Saturday. And finally, Sunday will bring a high of 67 degrees and a low of 48 degrees. This has been your weather forecast. Now for sports with Sarah Kate.
Hello, I'm Sarah Kate McElroy here with your weekly Mustang Sports Report. On October 8th, Cal Poly's women's volleyball team faced off against UC Davis with an at-home game in Mott Gym. The score remained fairly even throughout each set, as in the first set we were tied with Davis 4-4. Mustangs were able to score 4 straight points in a row after this to take the lead. In the second set, it was deja vu for the teams as they were tied again 4-4. Later, Mustangs gained a 10-6 lead. In the third set, Aggies started with a 7-4 lead, but Mustangs finished it off with a 25-20 winning streak, winning all the sets 3-0. Upcoming women's volleyball, Mustangs are playing against UC San Diego on the 21st in La Jolla and UC Irvine on the 22nd in Irvine.
For Cal
Poly's men's soccer, the team is still feeling the heat from last month's game against UC Santa Barbara, with a 2-1 loss against our rival. This past weekend, on October 15th, the men's team traveled to La Jolla to play against UC San Diego. Mustangs lost 3-4 to the Tritons. The Cal Poly men's soccer team has not won a game since the beginning of the month, but they have a few upcoming games with a chance to even out their record. On October 19th, the team is playing against Sac State here at home. And on October 22nd, the team is traveling to Santa Barbara to take on the Gauchos again for the second time this season, hopefully taking home a win. That's all for sports. I'm Sarah Kate McElroy. Back over to you.
Thanks, Sarah. As a new school year begins, so does a new wine harvest. And this year, wine and viticulture students have received a beneficial upgrade that has also allowed them to enhance their education. Reporter Abigail Obranovich visited the new facilities this week and got to see just how the classroom translates to the bottle room.
The Justin and J. Lohr Center for Wine, Cal Poly's new wine and viticulture center, is demonstrating ways for students to learn by doing. Fourth-year wine and viticulture students Taylor Robertson and Olivia Capio are receiving the opportunity to work in the new center, living their university's philosophy to the fullest.
Most of the learning happens in real life cellar work, so as much as we learn in the classroom, there's only so much we can take into the cellar. So I think it's really cool that through this internship and through our winemaking series, we're able to supplement classroom time with hands-on, real winery work.
The center recently experienced their first harvest the morning before fall quarter began here on campus.
All of our fruit currently comes from Trestle Vineyard, which is our very own on-campus vineyard here, where we grow a couple different varieties, mostly Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, and Pinot Noir. So we are currently making those 3 varietal-based wines in addition to a Pinot Noir rosé as well. So we take the fruit from harvesting to processing to pressing into tank, and from there we go through fermentation and then barrel down into barrels. It's a lot of work, a lot of hands-on and physical activity, but it's so much fun at the same time.
And while the new center has been beneficial in the harvest process, it wasn't always like this.
Like we've all mentioned, this is the very first year that this huge facility is in use, but last year for the winemaking series, we were in the pilot winery. So now having our students make their own personal wine within this brand new facility has been absolutely game-changing. The resources we now have, the equipment we now have that we can use is, completely changed the game for us.
Reporting for MNTV, I'm Abigail Obranovich.
Cheers.
You can pick up your own bottle of Cal Poly student-made wine in various places around San Luis Obispo or by joining their wine club. And we'll be right back.
Great having you. Incredible women. I wish they had those kind of cool careers for women when we were growing up.
So in this flashback, we're all the same age?
Yeah.
What does everyone want to be when they grow up?
If I say 2 jobs, do I get extra credit?
No.
I want to make immersive video games. I want to revolutionize 3D printing. I want to analyze data from the cloud.
I want to be a meteor.
You mean meteorologist?
No.
That's great, Al. Follow your dreams.
For the record, I was a baby in this.
And that wraps up today's
Being
top.
a dad can be transformative, but also a lot of fun. Help prepare your little monster for the outside world. Encourage their interests. Support their growth. Walk them through new relationships.
He's perfect.
Whatever you say.
And prepare them to stand on their own 2 feet.
So much of the good in my life is because of you.
Never stop being a dad.
And that wraps up today's top stories. I'm Carter Herrera.
And I'm Abigail Obranovich. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a great rest of your day.